All right.
Mobsterboss Radio's intended audience is those over the age of 18 years old. If you are under the age of 18 years old, you should leave now. If you decide to stay, we will assume that you are here with the approval and under the supervision of your parent or guardian. Mobsterboss Radio episodes may contain foul language, adult humor, and off-color remarks. So if you are easily offended in any sense of the matter, you probably shouldn't stick around as well. All content on Mobsterboss Radio is purely the responsibility of that individual show host. Keep in mind that Mobsterboss Radio is intended for entertainment purposes only and aimed at an adult audience. So strap on your sense of humor, sit back, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Yo. Yeah, what up? How you doing, my nigga? La da 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 da. La da da. White boy getting funky. Here we go. La da da da. I was gonna be prepared, but then I got high. Used to give a shit about this show, but then I got high. Now, I don't give a fuck, and I know why.
Why, man?
Because I got high. Because I got high. I could have been the Chris Top program, but then I got high.
Come on, y'all.
Check it out. Could have been rolling in the bitches, but then I got high. Telling I'm gonna fucking bottom, and I know why.
Why, man?
Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Fucking Spreaker wants to kick me off because I got high. They say I'm too fucking offensive and fucking inconsiderate because I'm high.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, you know what they can do? They can suck me off. Do you know why?
Why, man?
Because I'm high. Because I got high. Because I got high. I was going to do a 2-hour show, but then I got high.
I'm serious, man.
Talk about love, relationships, and breakups, but then I got high. You know what? Now I'm doing this fucking shit. You know why?
Why, man?
Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. This gig ain't paying shit because I got high. Yeah. I'm sucking the advertiser's dick because I got high. And now, motherfuckers, they don't want to pay.
Help me sing it.
Yeah, I know.
Because I got high.
It's exactly why.
Because I got high.
You know what? I had a fantasy about my co-host Sonny because I got high. He was all dressed up in fucking drag because I got high.
Say what?
Yeah, I know.
Say what?
I don't think I'd suck him off, but hey, I might try.
Why, man?
Because I'm high. Because I got high. Because I got high. Now, you know what? I know you hate my fucking guts because I got high. And you're about to turn this fucker off, aren't you? Because I got high.
Bring it back.
Well, you know what I say? Don't let the fucking door hit you in the ass. That's right, goodbye.
Why, man?
Because I'm high. Because I'm high. Because I'm high.
Are you ready, man?
Guess we better start the show. Because I'm high. My fucking name's JD. But you can call me Al. Because I'm high.
Bring it back.
Nah, fuck it. Here we go. I'm gonna try. Start the motherfucking intro. Niggas.
Hello, everybody. This is Salty Pride from the Salty Pride Music and More Show. Ready or not, here they come. Ready to lead you out of the valley of ignorance and into the high plains of confusion.
Those smarty pants types are never going to understand speak first guys like us.
Every decision I ever made happened between my belly button and the middle of my thigh.
It's Mobsterboss Radio Live on the Spreaker Network.
You're listening to Mobsterboss Radio Live with your host, JD.
Is it highbrow? No. It's entertainment.
Contact the show, JD at mobsterbossradio.com, or call the show via Skype. Our username is Mobsterboss Radio.
Call. Go ahead, make the call.
Now, your host.
A very charming psychopath.
JD. And hello, JD here live at Mobsterboss Radio Live. Happy Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes, where you can listen to the show at any time on your iPad or wherever the hell you want to download it to. Thanks for tuning in today. My name is JD. We have Lester in the control room and Sonny. He's probably got his microphone muted.
Nope, I'm good.
Nope. Wow,
I'm
the last three times.
I'm on the ball, man.
On the ball. This show today, I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. I've got a feeling that it might be okay.
Right.
But, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up for a good show today.
Right.
And usually what happens when we do that, we end up having a stellar show.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we had planned on having a show, but then something came up and we had a meeting, and maybe here in the next 3 or 4 weeks we're going to have a huge announcement about something that's going on with Mobsterboss Radio. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
We'll see. I want to say to the folks in the chat room, we've got Ann Chapman, Doc FM, Showbilly's in here, Lady Cobra, Big Tiny, already chatting it up.
Yep.
They're talking. Now, I'm not sure. Joe Seeker. Hey, I'm Joe Seeker from Showbilly Radio. He sent me an email. He wants to be part. Now, I don't know if he wants to be a member of the mob list or if he wants to be a VIP member. He sent me an email, and I forgot to get clarification. But he's a member. He's on the list. I
think Joe probably wants to be a part of the. I think he wants to be on the VIP list.
Okay.
Joe and I have had a couple of talks lately.
You're getting along now, is it?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I think that he and I both, or all of us, we kind of misunderstood each other and what our intentions were.
I didn't misunderstand anything. I'm just an asshole. And I think he thinks the same way about himself. He didn't misunderstand anything. He's just an asshole, too.
Yeah, but Joe's an okay guy. I've kind of come to know him a little bit, and he's an all right guy.
Okay, the VIP list, they ask, what's the VIP list? The VIP list is kind of like a sharing thing. Listen, we'll sit here and pimp the shit out of you. Every show, you get a mention.
Yep.
As long as you go on your show and mention us once in a while, or on your social network, or share our show with other people.
Absolutely.
It's the honor system.
Right.
Like, I'm hoping that Salty Pride, Music, and More are talking about us. I'm pretty sure they are.
Well, you know what? And speaking of Salty Pride, I want Rick to, in some way, we got to get in touch with him. I want to talk to him about some stuff. I've got some ideas that I'd like to roll past him.
Yep.
I like Rick.
Doc FM says Waba.
I'm not even gonna fucking go there today, are you?
No, we're not gonna go there today. I think we decided that Guy Shays has done enough.
Yeah,
the past week. Guy Shay's done enough in the past week. I think we don't need to talk about that anymore right now.
Yeah. Although we will say that Guy Shay is a part of what we do, and we will defend him.
We'll defend him?
We'll defend him.
We'll defend him as much as we defend Lester.
Tell us that we need to pull his content, all the little bitches and the people that want to apparently interact with us in hopes to get attention. So we'll defend him to that extent.
Yeah.
We don't agree with everything that he says, but hey, you're not supposed to.
No. We'll defend Guy Shea the way we defend Lester. And that is the fact we can't control Lester. We're not his parents.
By the way, we got a picture up of Lester, real picture.
We do. Lester, when I went to Arizona, we brought Lester along, and I took a picture of him. And you know what? Lester's not really happy that I put that picture up on Facebook. He's Lester's one of those.
He said something. You guys were kind of at each other's throat about that.
We were a little bit. Lester's one of those people that likes to keep his name off the internet. You know, it was hard enough work trying to get him a Facebook, and then he said, "I don't want any pictures up."
Yeah.
And I went ahead and got into his Facebook, and I posted. So if you look up Lester Bartholomew Jones on Facebook, you'll get to see a picture of Lester.
Yep.
I didn't. You know, he's wearing shades and he's wearing that leather jacket, which he fucking wears that thing everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But you know what? Lester is, if you've noticed, he's cleaned up a little bit because remember his hair was down to his shoulders. He had that nasty-ass fucking beard. He kind of cleaned all that up. I'm thinking that Lester really, what he said in that one deal about that little... What do you call her? A fat bottom girl. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking Lester has got the Cupid thing going on.
He's giving me the evil eye right now, or maybe he's just drunk, staring off into nowhere. He's been drinking. I want you to remember though,
this chick. I mean, she's apparently a real classy chick. He picked her up in line at an ice cream parlor. And they had extreme sex to the point that Lester had to go to the hospital and get a shot in his back.
No.
She's a classy gal, Lester.
Classy. All the way.
Classy.
Ann Chapman says she'll be doing a show tonight, but not tomorrow as I'm going to a comedy gig. So if you get the chance, check out Ann Chapman's show a little bit later on.
You know, she plays some pretty good mixes.
I listened to 2 of her shows.
Yeah.
Over the last couple weeks.
I think she should talk a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to encourage her to talk a little bit.
Okay. VIP members, Salty Pride Music and more. Lady Cobra, she just continues to promote the shit out of us. Big Tiny, oldies and more. Now, I think Big Tiny, he plays our promo during his show.
He does?
He does.
Okay, good.
It's that pre-roll that we have about iTunes and check out the show. He plays that.
Okay.
Guy Shea, you know, one of our VIP members, he's got his own show outside of Mobsterboss Radio.
Correct.
And he mentions us. Spreaker Reviews, Beyond Buzzed, Night Rider at Night. They mention us as well.
I think Beyond Buzzed and Night Rider, they kind of talk us up. So I think that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess we can add Joe Seeker maybe to that list. Who knows?
That's correct. And you know what? I know this is not right, but I'll be right back.
Okay, Sonny's gotta take the phone. Now, normally we would give out the phone number for you to call in. Here's the deal: is we had a Skype phone number, and apparently it's not working. We emailed Skype's customer service, and they're like, "Well, we can give you a new phone number if you like. We're not sure what's going on with it." And we said no because we want the last 4 digits to be twat. And I like how the first 3 digits are 469. You got a 469. Call us. So the phone number we have is perfect. We just want them to get that fixed and up and working. So our phone number, again, is not working today, but Skype is working on that. If you do want to call into the show, feel free to do so. You can do it at any time today. If you want to call into the show, our Skype name up and running is Mobsterboss Radio, all one word. And we'd be happy to have you on. Sonny, are you back?
I'm back. That was Lester's parole officer, and everything's good.
Okay, good deal. Other than that, we've got racial profiling is going to be our discussion today.
We do.
Not so much a bit. We may do a little bit later on.
Right.
If we've got some time, but we're going to discuss racial profiling, and we want to know your views on that when we get to talking about that here in just a few. We got another $20 giveaway for today. Did the person from last week, who was it, JD's Left Nut?
They did not.
Did not. Okay, so they did not claim their $20. Okay, so we'll have to see who's going to win the $20 today. And to win that, you have to have a PayPal account and be on our mob list. Now, I know Shillbilly Radio, I know I don't have you on the website yet, but I do have you on the list. So you are in for the drawing today.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yep, he will be in there, so you have to add the one more number on your end.
All right, got it.
Other than that, I think I've covered everything.
Oh, are we going to talk about the shooting in Garland, Texas, out here in Dallas?
We can talk about that in a little bit.
About the guy that was pulled over and shot 41 times.
Well, let's add that to our very fucked up news. The very fucked up news.
Right.
Okay, very fucked up. Now, everybody, it's no secret that you and I are involved in law enforcement.
Correct.
Around here. Something that's very disturbing to us is an incident that happened in Texas, and you and I discussed this, the fact that people are just not trusting the police anymore. And I can't say is that I don't blame people when shit like this goes on.
Right.
Go ahead with the news story.
Well, apparently what happened is there was a guy by the name of Michael Vincent Allen, and he had gotten into a chase with a small. This is all in the DFW area, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He had gotten into a chase with a small agency called Saxe, and the Saxe Police Department had chased him, and he had gotten away. So a neighboring town, Garland, had this truck on their list to kind of look out for him and see what the deal was. And he was in a chase regarding a traffic violation. And so an officer in Garland, Texas, a few days later, recognized the car, chased him. The guy took off and ran again. He has a history of eluding police. And I think they chased for about, it became a high-speed chase, and they chased for about 30 minutes. The guy makes a mistake and pulls down into a cul-de-sac. The officer rammed his truck, rammed the guy's truck, and then called it in and said that the guy had rammed him first. And then the officer screamed to get out of the car. Within 5 seconds, he unloaded, or not did all of this, but in 5 seconds started shooting at the car and reloaded 3 times and shot 41 times into the car and killed the guy. And obviously the guy had a passenger. And now there's just, why would this take place? Did the cop just lose it? There's some talk now about that maybe he and this other guy had a history, but we're not sure. And as much as I support law enforcement, this kind of stuff gives law enforcement a black eye.
It sure does.
And it puts people in a situation. I was looking at some of the stories and I mean, some of the comments to all of these deals all over the world. This has made worldwide news. And it's just people don't trust the police anymore, and that's a shame.
No, they don't. Hello to Gilbert, who just joined the chat room. We're discussing the excessive police force in this story in Dallas, Texas. And this is something where you and I said there's got to be a better screening process.
Yes, I think there really does.
But then in the same sense, dude, we are living in a world right now where people are just snapping. You have to understand the police officers are human as well.
They are.
I know they're expected to be put up on this pedestal and be respectful, and that's fine and dandy. You do have to be looked at by the public as an authoritative figure, respectful and mindful. But you have to understand as well as police officers are human. They are human, and there's a lot of stress right now with what's going on in the world. The economy's shitty, which is bringing out crazies by the day.
Correct.
People are losing their houses and families, and when a man loses their house and family, and they've got nothing else to live for, they get all depressed. They start drinking, drugs, guns are involved, and they just don't give a shit anymore.
I agree.
So that stress on an officer to where you're going to a call and you don't know what the fuck you're gonna walk into, whether it's gunfire from some guy who's depressed. you think that officer's got his family at home. Maybe he's got 3 kids at home that he's got to go to at night. But then when he's going to a call like this where he doesn't know whether he's going to make it home to his 3 kids and his family, and he's just trying to make a living, I mean, eventually that's going to put strain on somebody. Even though you're an officer and you're supposed to deal with that, I'm not justifying that, saying that this officer is right in what he's doing.
Right. This was obviously a case of, from all appearances right now, nobody knows the whole story.
Nope.
But the guy was unarmed, and we're certainly not making excuses for this guy. I mean, this kind of goes back to the guy, remember, in New York that was shot on the stoop 40-something times. Remember? Mm-hmm. Just what happens? What causes people to just flip out?
Yep.
This guy was a 7-year officer. He had never had any write-ups. He had never had a problem. And then out of the blue, he rams. I mean, I agree that, these guys, and you got to also remember, they get into a high-speed chase, and their adrenaline is going crazy. And adrenaline will sometimes cloud your thinking. Mm-hmm. And I agree that this is bad stuff. This is terrible stuff. The guy running from the police certainly didn't deserve to die, but I don't know what the answer to that is. How do you screen for that?
I know. I don't know if there is a way.
I don't think there is. And I guess, I realize that people are absolutely scared to death, but I think by the same token, the cops are scared as well.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I'm not justifying his shooting. I think it is out of line, and True. It is time for him to hang up his badge and take it away. And it's unfortunate that something like that happened. But unfortunately, in the world that we're in, that's going to happen.
Especially in the world we're in today.
It's kind of like teachers molesting your children at school.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's right that they do that, but It's going to happen because those people are human, and as much as I hate saying this, but to a sexual predator, that's kind of human nature for that sexual predator to do that, and it's hard to see that in somebody until it's too late. You can do everything you can to prevent that. You can do the best you can. You can do all the screenings in the world. But it's really hard to look at something like that. And I think that's just as bad. A teacher that's sexually molesting a student, I think that's just as bad a crime, if not worse, than this officer killing somebody like that. And it's all in human nature, whether they've got something wrong with their brain, something's going on.
Well, they obviously, in order to molest a child, there's got to be something going on in their. I mean, I personally believe that if a teacher molests a child, I'm not talking about the guy that fucks the 17-year-old girl, or there may be some question as to whatever. I'm talking about people that molest little children. Mm-hmm. I think they need to be put down like fucking dogs. Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Just fucking shoot them.
And just like, this guy that shot this other guy 41 times, it's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. And
I looking from the outside, the investigation's not done, but it looks like he murdered that guy. And he needs to be
more than likely he's going to be brought up on criminal charges.
Yep. And if that's the case, if that's a death penalty state,
Texas, if that's a death penalty state, dude, we execute more people than most of the countries, all the other countries put together.
I forgot that that's where the story's out. So, that's could be something that could be looked at.
Yeah.
That needs to be done.
When it comes time for an execution here, there's a fish fry.
So there it is. There's our stance on that. Let me see what else. I think I had one more here. Yep, I did. Very fucked up news. The next one, a Dutch court. We'll get out of that depressing talk.
Yep.
The Dutch court has ruled, get this, hyperlinks on websites can be constituted as copyright infringement.
Do what?
You put a link on your website,
Uh-huh.
you're infringing somebody's copyright.
I don't get it, but so
it's exactly
if I put a link, if we put a link on Mobster Boss Radio, and we were just saying, hey, you guys ought to check this game out, mobsterboss.com. If I didn't own the game, then technically the owner of that game could say that you're according to their law or the way that they see it, that would in some way be infringing on copyright.
Yep.
That's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. I would think that whoever made that decision, everybody that has a website should put a hyperlink to those people's whatever site they use to render those decisions. I don't know.
Yeah. So there it is, our very fucked up news for today, Friday, September 14th. We're going to take a break.
Right.
We're going to come back. We're going to discuss racial profiling.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't go off into a depressing tangent again.
I don't think we will.
Okay, we'll be back. This is Mobster Boss Radio Live. Oh, also coming up, $20 giveaway. Mobster Boss Radio Live.
You're invited to spend 2 full hours with Salty Pride and the Music and More Show as he babbles about things he loves, things he's obsessed with, and the things he just can't stop talking about. Listen to Salty Pride's favorite GLBT-friendly music. Get introduced to celebrity guests and a regular crew of his closest friends. Log on to saltypride.com today or do a search for us in the iTunes Store. Don't miss the Salty Pride Music and More Show. It's the ultimate soundtrack to your weekend.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny. I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More, where we play music from the 50s to today's favorites. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.
Hey ladies, a little tip from Lester. Next time you go skydiving, and I know many of you do, be sure and wear a tampon. It'll keep you from making that whistling noise you make on the way down. How about that?
You're listening to Mobster Boss Radio Live with your host, JD.
Is it highbrow? No, it's entertainment.
Contact the show, JD at mobsterbossradio.com, or call the show via Skype. Our username is Mobster Boss Radio.
Call. Go ahead, make the call.
Now, your host,
A very charming psychopath.
JD. It's JD live here at Mobster Boss Radio. If you want to contact the show at any time during our conversation, you are free to do so. Mobster Boss Radio, all one word. Go ahead and get a hold of us. Sonny is still there?
I am.
Sonny here with me, and my co-host Lester's in the control room. $20 giveaway coming up, and time now for our discussion on racial profiling. Now, is racial profiling racist? I don't think so.
I don't think it is. I think we have to be aware in today's climate of everybody, and if that means that you've got to pay attention to where you think possibly somebody comes from, then so be it.
So, some examples of racial profiling, we all know, are generally against the Arabs and the blacks.
Right.
It's hard to say, but you know, when I go down to a bad part of our town here, and you see a group of black people, do you think that you're going to be able to leave a bicycle sitting unchained next to a building while you walk inside a building to get, I don't know, maybe a pop or something?
Well, I would say no, considering the fact that if I go to South Dallas, and I know people down there, but if I go to South Dallas, why is it that they have bars on most of the houses' windows down there? I don't get that. Are they trying to protect themselves from me? Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
I don't understand that. When the Rodney King thing came up, oh wow, I can't believe I'm going to say this. They went and burned down their own fucking neighborhoods. Why?
I don't know. God. I don't get it. The Arab thing. Now here's something that's a sticking point for me. I went to Canada last summer.
Right.
And if you've ever been to Toronto, Ontario, try riding the subway. If you're I guess mainly if you're a white American,
right?
If you're a white American, or maybe white and English, maybe if you're from England, I assume they probably have the same feeling towards the Arabs.
Yeah, buddy.
Go ahead and try to ride a subway car in Toronto, Ontario. I sat there. There were 3 guys with the headgear and the beards and the robes over them. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, these guys look heavier than what they actually are. The entire
so you were
time,
uncomfortable.
I was totally uncomfortable. I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I'm like, does that motherfucker have a bomb strapped to his ass?
Right.
Now
and in that same vein, early last year, I flew to San Diego. And I have to tell you, the whole time I'm sitting there was some people that was like 1 row up from me and over to the other side of the aisle. There was 3 guys sitting there of Arabic descent. And I absolutely was uncomfortable the whole ride. I truly was. I don't know why. I do know why. It's in my mind. I kept thinking, oh yeah, here we go.
Now, racial profiling doesn't just extend to the blacks and the Arabs. It extends to the whites as well. And I don't think that people realize it as much as it is out there. Right. The fact that if you're an upstanding black person, you dress nicely, you have a great family, you're clean, no drugs, no criminal record. And then you look across the way and you see this family with this busted up pickup truck in a trailer park, dirty kids sitting there, cigarettes hanging out of their mouths, filthy white trash motherfuckers.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that? No, I'm just playing.
Exactly. What do you think that black person's thinking?
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Filthy fucking crackers.
Well, and they do think that, and plus this not so much in profiling as it is in racism. Let's be clear. Blacks are just as racially prejudiced against whites as whites. I mean, the whites get all the credit for all the bad shit when it comes to that. But they are just as, you wouldn't have Jesse Jackson out there screaming at the, and what's his name, Sharpton, and all of those people. You would not, those people wouldn't even have a platform if they weren't racially prejudiced.
Yeah. Now, Lady Cobra says there's so much hate and that it's sad. It is sad that it's there, but it's the fact that, I use racial profiling just for my own safety. When I'm with my daughter walking down the street, and I see a group of black people with chains, and they got that look on their faces like they don't give a fuck about the world.
Right.
I immediately think negative thoughts. Immediately. Just because history tells you that groups that hang like that, and specifically black groups that hang like that, are not the nicest of people.
Well, and the fact that we're talking about this makes... See, we're saying the things that you guys out here listening to us think. On both sides of this fence.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. We said it, you're thinking it, so what's the fucking difference?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you agree?
I do agree. Now, am I going to sit here and think that a white or a black guy who's nicely dressed and cleaned up and is there with his family, and he's going to the airport, they're flying out, do I think that they're going to be suspect to do something crazy? Probably not.
Agreed.
Probably not. But then there's, I'm racially profiling again. Not so much in the negative way, but the positive way. And the fact that this is a cleaned up black family, and I know that the blacks that are cleaned up and well dressed are some of the most nice people. They're nicer than some of the white people I know out there.
I agree.
That's the racial profiling on the other side. You're still racial profiling. Whites do it. You can tell when there's a group of decent white people. You're not going to have any issues. You feel comfortable.
Right.
Everybody does it, whether they realize it or not. Now, do I think that people need to overlook the fact that this is hate? I mean, to a point, it kind of is hate, but to a point, it's more of keeping yourself safe and keeping aware of your surroundings as to what's going on. Racial profiling does need to be a part of our lives. You need to be aware. The Arabs fucking hate the whites right now. Specifically,
they consider us infidels.
Yeah, specifically if you live in the USA. The Arabs fucking hate you. So there is nothing wrong if you're an American and you've got Arabs in your country. There is nothing wrong with thinking this person may be out to get me, because there's a majority of those types of the race that hate you.
Correct. Well, and I tell you what, there was some friends of mine. They went on a trip to France I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this person that had put this group together, and they told these people, because it was a group of Americans and Canadians that went that flew to France. The Americans were told to wear something to indicate that they were from Canada. Do you believe that?
Wow.
On the plane. And that is what they're saying is should there be some kind of a terrorist on that plane, they're less likely to single you out if you're Canadian as opposed to being American.
Mm-hmm. Now there's some great. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, that's fine.
No, there's great discussion going on in the chat room during this. Big Tiny says the worst niggers are the white ones. Nigger is a type of person, not a color.
I agree with that, but I think that's almost cliche, right?
Almost.
Nick Shot says it's fine to say that, but
Nick Shot says we're all the same. Bullshit. It's like being straight and gay. We're all like our own fish.
Yeah, but if you notice that old saying, "Birds of a feather," and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to group with people that we're most comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, you're not as a white guy. I had several black guys that worked for me, and we were kind of all a brotherhood, and we kind of knew everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But as a white guy, I'm not going to be as comfortable going to a club, and I'm the only white guy in the club. I'm just not going to be as comfortable.
That's true.
The main thing is I don't like black pussy, but
right.
But
Tiny made the comment that just a few blacks these quote-unquote niggers, just the few of them are making the rest of the race look bad. Well, here's the deal: it's a changing society. It is no longer just a few blacks.
I agree.
We need to wake up. It is no longer just a 16th of the black population that's causing problems.
I agree.
It is the number is higher than that. It's a lot worse than that. And because of that, that is the reason why you've got to use racial profiling.
Well, and
when you see black people, for example, and I don't mean to single in on one race, let me switch to the Mexicans.
You are talking my language in Texas.
There we go. You switch and you see the Mexicans. You see them around a nice car with the shiny rims and the fucking everything all pimped out. You really think that those are the people you want handling your stock options?
No.
And it's not because of their race. It's just the fact that history tells you, the past tells you that those people, that Mexican gangs like that, are not the greatest of people. And if you don't want to be looked at like that, don't get into something like that. If you want to sit there and say, oh, you're racial profiling against me, I don't do drugs, I don't stick people with knives, well then why are you dressing like the majority of the people that are like that? Why are you hanging out in groups like that? Why are you pimping your car out to be like people like that?
I agree.
And then sit there and say that you don't do it.
I agree.
Don't be upset when we racially profile you and go, you know what? 90% of the people that are in your situation right now, the way that you're hanging out and dressing and in a bad neighborhood is bad people. Don't be pissed off when we start thinking that. Go ahead.
Well, and on the same line as all of that, if this racial divide, whatever the races are, doesn't exist. I'll give an example. Mm-hmm. We know that I used to be in the bounty hunting business after I left law enforcement, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so we're chasing a bounty, and it happens to be a black guy, and he lives in Florida, and we find this guy. We get him out on the front porch, and they take him down, and the mother is out there screaming and yelling and trying to get all over my guys as they've got him down and cuffing him up, right? Mm-hmm. One of my guys just pushed her away, and we had it on video because I learned a long time ago to video all of our takedowns. All right. He pushed her away, just said, look, stay away. A year and a half later, I'm sued for this woman for violation of her civil rights. But who jumps into that lawsuit against me? The fucking NAACP. Now, why did they decide that that was something that they needed to jump in on? She had already lodged a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against me, and I had to hire a lawyer. It cost me $25,000 to defend myself in this lawsuit. But then the fucking NAACP jumped on the back of this deal, went through the history of all the bounties that we did, all 4,000 of them, and decided to say that we had chosen black people to go after as opposed to white people. We were hired to do a job. The fact that we took this guy who was wanted, and he was out on bond, and he skipped bond, and he had done some heinous crimes that was really bad stuff. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we took this woman's little angel and put him in jail, all we did was push her aside and just say, look, because we didn't want her to get hurt. She wasn't involved in this, and she had no business in what we were doing, even though this was her house. But why did the NAACP decide, would they have jumped in on that lawsuit had it been a black bounty hunter?
Well, that's exactly what Gilbert said in the chat room, because you're white.
Exactly. Now, and of course, I won that lawsuit. I had no way to recover the $25,000 that I had no way. I didn't even lodge a countersuit against them or anything like that. But you and I have talked. I had several of these happen, and I won every one of them. But on every one of them, we had one white person that sued us, and we prevailed there. But the NAACP didn't jump in on that. The ACLU didn't think that we had violated anybody's rights. They didn't jump in on that. But every time a goddamn black sued me, those motherfuckers jumped in, and they were just swarming on me like flies on shit. And I was the shit at that time. But we won. And of course, now we had a particular area of the NAACP that was watching my every move for years. Mm-hmm. It's wrong. And so when people say that the white people only are the bad guys when it comes to this racism stuff, how come it is that blacks can go around and call each other nigger, that my nigga, they can say all of this sort of stuff. They can say things to me. They can call me a cracker, a honky, whatever they want to say. But if I get up and look at somebody and say, you fucking nigger, then all of a sudden, I'm a racist. Fuck them. Sorry about that.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Let me know. Yeah. But no, I don't know. And it's not. I don't have anything against a particular group of people.
No.
I'm just saying that when we look at all of this political correctness has put us in a situation out here in life that it's just impossible to go about your daily life and have real, true feelings about certain things because you don't dare express those.
Yep, exactly. Now, you think about on the border, the U.S. and Mexico border, another situation of racial profiling. You see a fucking truck driving by with a cover over it, and it's moving. In the front, you see a Mexican guy.
Right.
And it's on the border of Mexico. Do you stop it? If illegal immigration is an issue on the border and you see something like that, do you stop it?
I would think you do.
Based on the fact that the driver's Mexican, drives a truck that looks like it came from Mexico, and you see a burlap sack, a ton of burlap fucking blanket, so to speak, over top of something that's moving in the back. Or a truck. Do you check it out?
I would think that you would.
And it's not because you think that this person's a bad person. It's just that we've got a problem in situations like that we need to take care of. If you're not smuggling in immigrants across the border in the back of a truck, and you're found that, hey, sorry for the inconvenience, go on.
Right. No, I agree. But you know what? The guy that's kind of led the charge on that is what's his name in Arizona? Sheriff Joe Arpaio or something like that.
Yep.
There was just a recent court decision that didn't allow him to check people out. And this guy, I got to give him credit. This son of a bitch is not going to take this laying down. He's going and filing every lawsuit in the world back at the ACLU. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's, for the most part, he's doing a good job.
You want to know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
Is when I went to Arizona, if you've never been to Arizona and you drive along the border, they've got checkpoints where they stop you for immigration.
Absolutely, they do.
Now, I make no bones about the fact that I live in the United States, but I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm here on a permanent resident visa, legally.
Right.
Do you think they asked me to see my green card?
No, I know they didn't. I know they didn't.
On a place where
they did.
On a place where immigration is a big issue. The reason why we pay people to do checkpoints is to check immigrants.
I really doubt they ask. Did you go through one of these checkpoints?
I went through 6 of them.
Okay. They never even asked you for ID, did they?
The first time they asked all Americans, looked around. I came forward and said, no, I'm Canadian. You know what their response was?
Oh, okay.
Are you legal? Yeah, I've got my card right here. Show it to them? Okay, you're good.
But had you not said that, they would have just told you guys to go on, right?
The next 5, we came through. All American? Yep. Okay.
Well,
so in a way that racial profiling is going to work there, but with that immigration stance, I think people need to carry proof of citizenship, and you should be able to be asked for that at any time, no matter who you are.
I agree. Well, if I don't know how many of our listeners live. Well, I do know that there's a lot of them that are in Texas because of the people at the colleges that listen to us. But if you lived in Texas, where by the end of this year, Texas will be Hispanics will be the majority.
Yep.
You would probably feel the same way that JD feels right now about some stuff like that. I think it's okay to ask. I think it's okay to ask anybody for their proof of citizenship.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts? Because we got to get going. We are running way out of time.
Nope. I'm sure that we've built enough hate.
Now go ahead. If you've got your own views on the racial profiling, feel free to post it on our wall.
Yeah.
If you want it to be out there, your opinions, go ahead and post it. Whatever you say will not be deleted.
And we don't delete. We don't even ban. We've only banned ever one person, right?
Yes.
That was Taurus Pollock guy. Yep. But we don't. And Stoner Jesus should be a prime example of that. We let anybody say whatever they want to say.
Yep. So go ahead and post your opinions if you like on our wall. We welcome it. If you want, if you feel the need to email, because they do, complaints, they come in,
and we'll read them.
We'll read them. Go ahead and do so. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We got $20 to give away.
We do
on the show again, and we'll wrap things up. And then I got to go get my daughter from kindergarten.
Absolutely,
that's the way it goes. This is Mobsterboss Radio Live. We'll be back.
Warning. All personnel must clear the facility. JD just took a shit. Warning. All personnel must clear the facility. JD just took a shit. Warning. JD just took a shit. Warning. JD just took a shit. Please clear the facility immediately.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny, and I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More, where we play music from the 50s to today's favorites. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.
You're invited to spend 2 full hours with Salty Pride and the Music and More Show as he babbles about things he loves, things he's obsessed with, and the things he just can't stop talking about. Listen to Salty Pride's favorite GLBT-friendly music. Get introduced to celebrity guests and a regular crew of his closest friends. Log on to saltypride.com today or do a search for us in the iTunes store. Don't miss the Salty Pride Music and More Show. It's the ultimate soundtrack to your weekend.
I'm reading my email right now, and I cannot believe what I'm reading. Someone is writing me and telling me that I don't speak very respectful of women. Well, that is so wrong, my friend. I realize how important women are. I respect what they do, and I respect their contributions to society. They have one of the most important roles in society today. There are life support systems for vaginas. I respect that.
You're listening to Mobsterboss Radio Live with your host, JD.
Is it highbrow? No. It's entertainment.
Contact the show, JD at mobsterbossradio.com, or call the show via Skype. Our username is Mobsterboss Radio.
Call. Go ahead, make the call.
Now, your host.
A very charming psychopath.
JD.
JD, Sonny, and Lester live back here at Mobsterboss Radio Live. And we got $20 to give away. And Joe Seeker from Showbilly Radio says in the chat room, if he wins, he's going to buy B.K. Keller's book.
Oh, my God.
So I guess good luck to Joe Seeker. Good luck to BK. Because BK would win off this.
You know, I looked at BK's book, and
isn't it like reading one big long run-on sentence?
Oh my God, man! I would tell you, and you should hear the reviews. Somebody. Well, there was just some stuff on there that was just crazy. Some of the comments, and I really believe. You know, there's actually a few people that bought that book, and they were really sorry they did.
Nice. All right, we got $20 to give away here on the show.
Okie dokie. Are you ready for me to...
I am ready. You've got Joe's number in there, right?
I do.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I need a drum roll.
Oh, that's right, the drum roll. I forgot about that. It's almost like a motorboating.
Yeah, it is. All right, number 40.
Number 40.
Have we done 40? I think 40's popped up before.
We did. Hold on.
Hadn't it?
Cocaine Cowboy. Yeah, he won
did
2 weeks ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he claimed it back then.
Oh, my God.
All right, Cocaine Cowboy's the winner again.
All right. Okay. I think now I will leave him out of the next drawing because that's 2 in 3 weeks.
Okay. So you think we have to do a month from here on out?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
Don't you?
Yeah. Cocaine Cowboy. Congratulations. We've got TJSFM just joined the show. You know, we're about to log off here. We only have a couple minutes. We do have a couple listener emails to get to. I totally forgot of these. We'll go through them real quick here. Joe from Chicago, Illinois states, do you have any advice for dating girls significantly younger than you, like almost 10 years younger? Make sure they're over 60.
Chris Top for that
17.
deal, right?
Oh, you went there. Why did you go there?
I don't know. I couldn't help myself.
You had to go there.
I couldn't help myself.
Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, make sure she's of age. And if she is of age...
You had to go there, right?
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Make sure that she shaves down there, because you like young pussy that's shaven.
That's right.
On the other side, Ben from upstate New York. How do you get girls who are older than you? I just started college. I'm 17. No experience in dating, and the girls are almost 18 or slightly older. Any advice?
Wait a minute. I do that again.
How do you get girls who are older than you? He's looking for the cougars.
Okay.
Any advice? I'm looking for a girlfriend, not just to get fucked.
Well, obviously he's looking for somebody that might appreciate him.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just put yourself out there, man.
And when he says that, he's not saying hang your dick out at old age homes.
Right. Yeah.
He could, I guess.
That might work, though.
Tanya from Montreal, Quebec. Frenchie! I hate the French. This is going to be me racially charged. French Canadians can kiss my ass. I wonder if Joe Seeker feels the same way. I'm from Ontario originally, and isn't he from like Nova Scotia or something?
Yeah.
I wonder if people from Nova Scotia hate Quebec just as much people from Ontario hate them.
They call those people, they call the French frogs, right?
Yes, we do. Yep. And my favorite joke of all is, did you know that Quebec has a new flag for their province?
No.
It's a picture of two frogs fucking in a bowl of pea soup.
Okie dokie.
Only Canadian
let me,
joke.
real quick, and I know we're kind of pressed for time.
Yep.
Where does the term frog come from?
No idea. I'm assuming to the fact that the French delicacy is frog's legs. They like to eat those.
They like to eat those in Louisiana, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's more of a main delicacy, though, in Quebec.
Gotcha.
It's almost like eating mac and cheese.
Hey, I do have something to say about our show real fast.
Okay.
I know that if a lot of people that are listening to us right now notice that we've changed directions and the way that we've gone with our show. And we did so because of a meeting that we had yesterday. That does not mean that we're not going to be back to in-your-face, fuck you radio, picking on people, because we will. We did this the way we did the show today for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just all I'm going to say.
Okay. You know, I didn't get the question
I thought we had
out.
a very informative show.
I didn't get the question out from Tanya yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We just made fun of her for being French.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I seem to be drifting apart. How do I restore a relationship and feel close to him again? Give up anal.
That's it.
Give him the ass. The bum
Give
show.
him the old balloon knot.
Yep. Give him the bum show.
That's it. The brown eye.
Super glide and let him stick it in your ass. Let him dry dick you.
Ooh.
Make you howl. By the way, we are not doctors. So I'm not even sure that that's medically safe to dry dick somebody.
Oh, man. That would probably hurt, don't you think?
I would just assume that it would bust off an internal hose or something.
Hey, have you ever had your prostate checked?
Oh, God. That's another show. We'll talk about that in another show.
Yeah, but have you ever had it done?
Yes.
Can you imagine what it would feel like, something dry running up your ass like that? Oh, my God.
Joe Seeker says, bring home a friend. So there you go. A couple suggestions there. Let him do anal and bring home a girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right, other than that, we're done the show for today. Thank you for joining us here at Mobsterboss Radio Live. You can check out our blog online at mobsterbossradio.com. Skype us, leave a message on Skype. Our phone number, like I said, we're getting in contact with Skype to get that fixed.
Yep.
Hopefully they have that coming up here in the next week or so. Other than that, I've got nothing else to pass along. Any comments, suggestions, questions, email me, JD, Jayde, at mobsterbossradio.com. Otherwise, make it a good weekend. Stay safe. Get your pecker wet if you can. Guys, girls, get your clits wet. That's all I suggest.
Later, my nigga.
Yeah.